Ever wondered what lottery winners do with their big wins? Today, we're sharing 12 inspiring success stories of winners who went beyond just spending. From supporting their local communities to funding passion projects, these stories tell us about the incredible ways people can make a difference when given the chance. Number 12. Anonymous Donor. $30,000. Back in 2011, in a modest church in Maryland, we heard of a story that warmed our hearts. Among the usual offerings in the collection plate, there was a surprise for the church. Someone had left their winning lottery ticket there. And guess the amount. It was valued at a neat 30 grand. Now, 30K might not make headlines like those massive jackpots do, but there is something truly special here. Someone didn't just share a part of their luck, they handed over their entire win. Think about it. While most of us daydream about all the things we could buy with a lottery win, this person thought of others. What makes this story even more touching is the timing. It was revealed that the church was facing some financial challenges, so this unexpected gift seemed like a lifeline to them. The pastor had mentioned how many people in their community were struggling, and just when they needed it most, an anonymous hero stepped in, quietly making a difference. Stories like this remind us of the true essence of humanity. It's not always about the grand gestures, but those small acts that come straight from the heart. Speaking of generous hearts, let's talk about another incredible individual who became his town superhero. Number 11. Bob Erb. $25 million. Bob Erb was already a legend in his small Canadian town for his big heart. Long before he won the lottery, he was that guy helping out, be it handing some money to someone in need or getting warm jackets for kids during winter. Maybe that's why life threw him a big one. In 2012, Bob won a staggering $25 million in the lottery. And you would think, maybe now he will slow down on his acts of kindness. Nope. Just within the first year, he donated 1/3 of his winnings, accounting for around $8 million. And it's just the first year we're talking about. His generosity knew no bounds. He gifted 10 cars to people he knew had no means of transportation. He paid 300 grand to settle dental bills for locals who could not afford them, and he took care of his family members. Yep, gave them hundreds of thousands. There was also this one time when he bought a simple meal at a diner, but then paid with a check of 10 grand. It turned out he was aware that the owner's daughter had cancer, so he wanted to help. What a neighbor to have, right? Another fun fact about Bob: he has been playing the lottery since the 70s, where, yeah, he was quite into his marijuana. So it's no surprise that when he got rich, a chunk of that money went straight into pushing for its legalization in Canada. Bob generously funded the political movement with over $1 million. He was also the same person who helped start Canada's 420 Day. So it's safe to say he's now the major financial pillar behind this annual high-spirited event. While Bob Erb splashed his winnings on a blend of personal passions and community causes, our next winners gave almost their entire lottery fortune back to their community. Number 10. Alan and Violet Large. $11.2 million. Back in 2010, there was this couple from Canada, Alan and Violet Large. They lucked out big time when they won the $11.2 million lottery. Now, most people would be planning a fancy vacation or buying a new house, right? But guess what? This couple kept just $2 grand and decided to share the rest. Yes, all the winnings except that $2 grand went to other people. First of all, they donated to hospitals in Halifax and Truro, Nova Scotia. After that, they gave money to their family, the local heroes at the fire department, cemeteries, some churches, and even the Red Cross and Salvation Army got a slice. Violet was battling cancer at the time, and they both just wanted to do good without any drama. It was a big power move by a power couple. While Alan and Violet went full community first with their winnings, the next winners found a sweet spot between pampering their town and themselves. Number 9. John and Linda Kuti. $28.7 million. Let us tell you about John and Linda Kuti. This couple did something unexpected after their office lottery pool won a $28.7 million jackpot. Instead of just splurging on themselves, first they decided to visit the Green Island Village Hall. just popped by and asked them how they could give back. And what did the town need? A little facelift for a local park. The Cooties decided to replace an old-school wading pool with a shiny new spray park. Today, kids in the area have this awesome spot to chill during hot summers, all on the Cooties' dime. The best part, though, they took care of everything, from the equipment to its installation. There was no taxpayer money involved. But don't let this convince you that they donated all their money. No, they did treat themselves a bit. John quit his job at New York State Homes, and the duo settled into a stunning Florida home. Sure, after all the tax cuts, their take-home was just $19 million. But look at how they played it, a chunk for community love and a bit for personal joy. However, the next winner turned a personal tragedy into a gesture of kindness. Number 8. Tom Christ, $40 million. This is the story of Tom Christ. He was the CEO of an electricity company in Canada. That title alone tells you he was not short on cash. His family was set, living comfortably, no financial storms on the horizon. Now, with life already on the upswing, imagine waking up to discover you've won $40 million in a Canadian lottery. Well, that's exactly what happened to Tom. But after the IRS took its sum, he had $31 million in hand. Here's where the story takes a heartwarming turn. Instead of living it up or adding another zero to his bank account, Tom donated all of his winnings, every single cent, to charity. And he had a soft spot, especially for children fighting with cancer. Why this cause, you might wonder? It hits close to home. Just 2 years before his big win, Tom had lost Jan, who was his wife of 44 years. She had lung cancer and lost her life to it. So, in a way, this was his heartfelt tribute, turning personal loss into communal hope. Now, about his kids. You would think with such money, they would want to share. But they stood solidly with their dad's decision. It was clear they believed in making a difference over making dollars. Tom used his fortune to honor a loved one, and on the other side of the country, this person took her winnings to create a lasting impact. Number 7. Sheila Ryan, $52 million. 1988 could have been a life-altering year for Sheila Ryan. At that time, she was living in a mobile home, working a regular job in real estate. And then suddenly, out of the blue, she won $52 million from the Florida State Lottery. That would have been the dream, right? And back then, that was the biggest amount anyone had won in the US. But no, Sheila decided to not spend it on any extravagant vacations or fancy cars or even improving her life. She went in a different direction. Sadly, Sheila was struggling with cancer. So instead of letting it slow her down, she made it her mission to do good. She decided to start the Ryan Foundation. And guess what she did with her lottery money? She put all of it, every single dollar, into the foundation. Even though Sheila left us in 1996, her foundation did not stop. It kept going and going. Today, because of her, people in Seminole County, Florida, are getting the help they need. Kids, seniors, people stuck in tough situations, and even stray animals, they're all being looked out for. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. Sheila Ryan won big, not just in money, but in the way she chose to use it. She reminds us that sometimes the best way to spend a fortune is by making sure it helps others long after you're gone. While Sheila aimed to make life better for countless individuals, the next winner made it fun for kids. Number 6. Les Robbins, $111 million. Les Robbins was just your regular junior high school teacher, living in a cozy one-bedroom apartment. Life was ordinary until 1993, when he won $111 million in the lottery. Now, his bank account screamed millionaire, but the next decision he made proved that he was still that simple junior high school teacher who loved his classroom kids. Winning the lottery, he thought about those golden childhood days. You know, the kind where we played outside till our legs gave out without a screen in sight? That's what he wanted to recreate. So instead of living in a palace drinking the most expensive drinks, he dug in and spent 10 years crafting something truly special. Welcome to Camp Winnegator. This is not some swanky summer resort. It's a slice of old-school fun spread across 226 acres near his waterfront property. Kids can jump into a pool, swing a golf club at the miniature course, or if they like, saddle up for some horse riding. Camp Winnegator has all types of fun. For 5 summery weeks, this camp is a refuge from hectic school life. It's where kids can be kids, enjoying crafts, lake activities, or just chilling with friends. Les's jackpot didn't just change his life, it offered a summer heaven for generations of kids. How cool is that? But not as cool as our next story, which is about a woman whose lottery money came straight from her dreams. Number 5. Cynthia P. Stafford, $112 million. You know how we often hear about the power of manifestation, and if we're being honest, sometimes roll our eyes at it? Like, sure, just think about it and it'll magically happen. Yeah, right. But hold that thought, because Cynthia's story might just make you reconsider. Life was far from a fairy tale for Cynthia Stafford. Tragedy struck when she had to shoulder the responsibility of her late brother's 5 children. She was also supporting her aging father at that time. During all this and their cramped home, a very particular thought came into her mind: winning $112 million in the lottery. Not a round figure like 100 or 200 million, but a precise $112 million. Well, Cynthia was convinced. She didn't just idly wish for it, she leaned into the idea, completely immersing herself. There were notes beneath her pillow, moments of deep meditation, and constant visualization of the victory dance she would do when she won. And believe it or not, 3 years after that number first popped into her head, she won that exact jackpot. Coincidence? The universe working its magic? Call it what you will, but her belief turned into cold hard cash. With this mega win, she didn't just settle debts, she fulfilled her dream of setting up a film company. So the next time someone mentions manifesting their dreams, maybe, just maybe, hold off on that eye roll, because sometimes dreams have this uncanny way of coming true. Just ask Cynthia. She used her win to chase her dreams, but the next winners became hope for those parents who had lost hope. Number 4. Paul and Sue Rosano, $181.2 million. In 2003, Paul and Sue Rosano of Minnesota suffered a major loss. They lost their beloved 2-year-old granddaughter, Michaela, to a rare and relentless disease, Krabbe disease. 5 years later, in 2008, life threw them a surprising twist. The couple won a Powerball ticket worth $181.2 million. They saw it as an opportunity, a call to action. The couple focused on a singular mission: battling Krabbe disease. This silent disease might affect only 1 in 100,000 newborns, but its impact is devastating. The newborns born with this disease often do not live longer than 2 years. After the taxes, the couple got $44 million from their winnings. With an extraordinary act of generosity, they used $26.4 million to create the Legacy of Angels Foundation. Their mission was to promote research for the cure of Krabbe disease and support families struggling with treatment costs. But their involvement was not restricted to just signing checks. They immersed themselves in the cause. The couple joined the foundation's board and played a proactive role in battling the disease. Meanwhile, over in South Dakota, a young cowboy was about to have his life turned upside down. Number 3. Neil Wanless, $232 million. Have you ever had one of those weeks where you just think, can it get any worse? Neil Wanless sure did. Back in 2009, this young cowboy from South Dakota, just 23 at the time, was seriously down on his luck. His ranch was falling apart, bills were piling up, and he was even selling bits of scrap metal to squeeze out some extra cash. Todd County, where he lived, was not exactly the land of opportunity either. On a day like any other, Neil rode into a town, and we can't make this up. The town was actually named Winner. He thought, why not try his luck, and with his last $5, he bought a Powerball ticket. He didn't get fancy with the numbers, just used his family's birth dates. But here's where the universe threw in a little magic. That ticket turned out to be worth a jaw-dropping $232 million. After taxes, Neil received $88.5 million. Even with all that money, Neil didn't hightail it out of there to some luxury island. Nope, he stayed true to his roots, remained on his ranch, and decided to give back to the people in his community. It's kinda heartwarming to think that even when life does a complete 180, some things like community and heart remain unchanged. While Neil used his money to uplift his community, the couple next in line used their jackpot to fulfill the dreams of young sports enthusiasts. Number 2. Colin and Chris Weir, $251 million. Colin and Chris Weir were a regular couple living in Britain. In 2011, they found themselves holding the golden ticket, and not just any ticket, but the highest ever lottery jackpot ticket in British history. They bagged a whopping £161 million, which is about 251 million USD. It's a kind of fortune most of us just daydream about. But what's even more impressive than their winning amount is how they chose to spend it. Instead of indulging in a life of ultra luxury, they turned into real-life superheroes. There was this 13-year-old Olympic torch carrier, Kieran Maxwell. He had lost a leg to cancer. Thanks to the Weirs, he got a new prosthetic leg. Then there was 15-year-old Ross Wilson, a young tennis player with big dreams. The Weirs funded his journey to Barcelona, where he started training at a top-tier tennis academy. And that's not all. Their passion for making a difference did not stop there. They approached Patrick Thistle, who was a young soccer star. They granted him funds to start a new youth academy. Realizing the potential to make a more widespread impact, the couple also initiated the Weir Charitable Trust. This trust now extends support to numerous groups and charities across Scotland. It's heartwarming to see lottery winners making such heartfelt choices, isn't it? Speaking of heartfelt choices, let's talk about another family who decided to spread love and generosity in a big way. Number 1. The Pearlie Mae Smith family. $429 million. This is the inspiring success story of a family that genuinely understands the meaning of the saying, sharing is caring. The 7 Smith children, led by their mother, Pearlie Mae. Growing up in the Smith household wasn't just about Sunday family dinners or the usual holiday get-togethers. No, sir. It was about going to the backyard garden to feed neighbors and volunteering at soup kitchens. Pearlie Mae was the kind of mom who believed that to receive, you first had to give, and her children turned out to be just like her. Now, fast forward a bit. In 2016, the Smiths won a $429 million lottery. And fun fact alert, Pearlie Mae swears those winning numbers came in a dream she had. Now, instead of going for luxury cruises or diamond-studded whatever, the Smiths kept it real. They gave 10% of their winnings to their church. Many of them didn't even quit their jobs and kept living their normal lives. But the coolest part? They started the Smith Family Foundation, focusing on everything good for their hometown, Trenton. From supporting local organizations to offering scholarships, including a special one at the high school all 8 of them attended. They spread their newfound wealth where it mattered. So next time you think of lottery winners, remember the Smiths, the people who showed us that when life gives you a windfall, it's all about the legacy you create with it. Following these inspiring stories, have we piqued your curiosity yet? Well, hold on to that excitement. Up next, we've got the smartest lottery winners who found a way to win over and over. It's truly a showcase of luck meeting brains. So don't miss our next video.